What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United in action in the Premier League, match day 27 up against Ipswich Town at Old Trafford. I think it's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff tomorrow. Manager is Kieran McKenna, and Kieran McKenna took over Ipswich Town in December 2021. He's managed them 160 games. He's won 80. He's drawn 45 and lost 35. He's got a 50% win ratio as well. Ipswich Town, they currently sit 18th in the Premier League with 17 points. They've only got 3 wins, 8 draws and 15 losses as well. So in terms of some recent forms for Ipswich Town, they are coming away with a loss to Tottenham. They lost 4-1 to Tottenham on the weekend, and then before that they did draw to Aston Villa 1-1. But they did beat Coventry in the FA Cup 4th round 4-1. They did lose to Southampton though, who are also relegation threatened. They lost to Southampton 2-1, which was a good win for Southampton, but I think Southampton are probably already down and out because they are bottom of the league with 9 points. And then they lost to Liverpool and they lost to City as well. And they lost to Brighton as well. So in terms of some recent form, it's not looking too good for them. They are in the relegation zone, and I think they possibly they could get relegated along with Southampton and possibly Leicester, who are also in the relegation zone as well. Manchester United are a little bit further away from the relegation zone. We are on 30 points, so we need 10 more points to secure Premier League safety. Of course, I can't believe I'm saying that as a Man United fan, but we are in 2025 and random things are happening. So Man United on the possibly could get relegated. Hopefully we don't. But we need 10 more points to secure Premier League safety. But yeah, in terms of some team news for Ipswich, they've got a couple of players out. Chaplin, Kajuste, Walton, and Cisco, Ogben and Burns are all out. But in terms of Ipswich Town's starting 11, this is who I've gone with in terms of who I think is going to line up for them. Obviously 4-2-3-1 formation. Palmer and net, Tuanzebe, O'Shea, Burgess and Davies making up the back four. Taylor and Morse making up the defensive midfield pairing. Philogene, Hutchinson and Skomodics making up the front three in behind Delap, who's the striker. So in terms of Ipswich Town's tactics with possession, they do set up in a 4-2-3-1 formation, and Kieran McKenna's side, they focus on quick passing, fluidity and high tempo transitions. And 4-2-3-1 of course is the most used formation in the Premier League. Ipswich, they always try to find the attacking midfielders in the pockets. Their midfield numerical superiority usually means that at least one will be open. They look for passes from the wing or from the back or the wing, breaking lines and finding an attacking midfielder who will turn and drive at the defence. So in terms of offence, to summarise, Ipswich Town, they progress the ball through the centre of the pitch. Wide players cut inside to support the striker, and central midfielders support defensively and in attack. So in terms of defending without possession, they like to position many players centrally to create a numerical advantage in midfield, creating good conditions in defensive transitions. Having many players close to the ball after losing possession means that many players can work towards regaining possession. That's something that we see in a lot of Premier League sides and a lot of footballing sides around the world. McKenna's team therefore often regains possession directly after losing it. So to summarise as well, Ipswich used a compact low to mid defensive block. A midfielder often sits back deeper, allowing the team to shift to a 5-3-2 formation when needed, and Ipswich excels at playing at the defensive block as well. So sometimes they do like to switch formation between a 4-2-3-1 and a 3-2-4-1 as well. It can transition to a 3-2-4-1 when attacking. In terms of Ipswich's overall strategy, is to dominate possession, press relentlessly and create numerous scoring opportunities. In terms of that last game against Manchester United away from home at Portman Road, Man United, we did draw. This was, I think, Ruben Amorim's first game in charge, if I'm not mistaken. Rashford did score, but I think Omari Hutchinson scored a deflected shot off Mazraoui to make it 1-1, and it was a disappointing game. I do feel like as if we should have won that game. Picking up all 3 points against Ipswich would have been nice back then for Ruben Amorim's first game in charge, but of course it wasn't to be. So in terms of United though, United's last game was against Everton away from home at Goodison Park, and we managed to pick up a point. A 2-2 draw it ended, and I have to say it was probably a fair result. I think Everton might be a little bit hard done by that penalty claim at the end of the game, but I feel like as if it was a little bit harsh if that had been given. So I think a 2-2 scoreline against Everton was a fair result. So in terms of United's team news, of course they've got many injuries. Bayindir, Evans, Martinez, Shaw, Mainu, Mount, Collier and Diallo are all out, of course. I think they've all got long-term injuries, but we'll see when they come back. In terms of United starting 11, it's basically the same as the one against Everton. The only change I've gone with from my previous videos, I've changed the formation from the 3-4-3 to the 3-4-2-1 formation with the two inside number 10s in Garnacho and Xerxes. So of course Onan, Renette, De Ligt, Maguire, Mazraoui making up that back three. Dalot, Ugarte, Bruno, and then Dogu are making up that four in midfield. I've gone with Bruno in that double pivot alongside Ugarte because I think he played really well in the double pivot against Everton. When Ruben Amorim decided to change it up, he dropped Bruno into that double pivot, and then he brought on Garnacho for Casemiro, and we went slightly more attacking. And I thought that was really good in terms of Ruben Amorim's man management and his game management, that he managed to see that we weren't progressing the ball as well as we could have done, and Bruno Fernandes in that deeper position alongside Ugarte proved to be fruitful because we did manage to score 2 goals and come away with a point. And possibly, I think if Ruben Amorim hadn't done that, we probably would have lost that game. So in terms of that, that's really good by Ruben Amorim. But also Bruno Fernandes is stepping up to the plate and shows that he can play in that position as well. So in terms of United star man, I think I'm going to have to go with Bruno. Of course, he creates the most chances as well. So yeah, I think he does create the most chances. United rely on him the most, for that chance creation. But yeah, in terms of how do you beat them, I think of course pace, power, strength, unpredictability. I think using the 3 centre backs for that build up. Careful on the set pieces as well, because we have been struggling on them in a couple matches. So if we can be wary on the set pieces, win the second balls. I think De Ligt might be dangerous from set pieces. We've seen many Premier League sides come to Old Trafford this season and be fruitful from corners and throw-ins and set pieces and free kicks and stuff. So if we can shore up the, defensively in terms of set pieces, then I think we could come away with all 3 points. Of course, winning the second balls in the box. I think the wing backs as well. I think Dalot has to improve a little bit going forward, but Dogo has impressed since he's come in. He's been alright as well. Of course, scoring early would help us in terms of picking up that 3 points. It would also settle the nerves that are in Old Trafford. So that would be really good if we could score early as well. So in terms of my score prediction, I'm going to go for a 3-0 Manchester United win. I did go for a win against Everton, but unfortunately we did come away with a draw. So I'm going for a 3-0 United win. Hopefully we can pick up all 3 points and secure Premier League safety. Going for Højlund, Bruno and Garnacho to score for United, and hopefully we do come away with all 3 points. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you after the match.